Hello everyone, welcome to our aTech channel. Today we're going to be looking at nuclear energy. It scares as much as it fascinates. For some, it is a danger for humanity and the planet in general. For others, the danger that nuclear energy represents is worth taking. Whatever the case, nuclear power divides. China and India have increased their capacity to prioritize electricity to hundreds of millions more people without increasing carbon emissions. Other countries such as Germany and Japan have closed their plants out of safety concerns. Environmentalists have concerned that carbon-free sources of electricity will be closed. Before we begin, we invite you to subscribe to our channel. You'll find different and original stories every day, and if you have any suggestions on what we should cover, you can leave a little comment after this video. Without further ado, let's find out if we need nuclear power to stop climate change, and should we risk it? To keep the planet from warming up, we're supposed to double the amount of nuclear power by 2050 according to the International Energy Agency. Yet according to the World Nuclear Association, that's not enough. Talk the anti-nuclear activists, they'll tell you that it's too dangerous. Scientists have mixed reviews on whether beating nuclear power is a good idea. It's hard to imagine now, but people used to see nuclear power as a beacon of hope. Created jobs and produced electricity without polluting the air. Until the mid-1970s, Americans wanted nuclear power most of all, but there were protests against it during the Cold War. The call to ban nuclear weapons resonated with hippies and environmentalists who hated everything nuclear. It just wasn't about bombs, but everything nuclear being dirty and dangerous, and they were kind of right. In 1979, a nuclear reactor went into particular meltdown with 3 Mile Island in the United States. No one died, but the cleanup was $1 billion. You've probably all heard about the infamous Chernobyl disaster in 1986, but also the Fukushima in 2011. With disasters like these, it's no wonder people find nuclear power apocalyptic. But look at the numbers that fear does not hold up. Compared to renewable energy sources, nuclear power has killed more people for every terawatt hour of electricity. But let's put that in context of fossil fuels. Death rates from burning gas, oil, and coal make nuclear seem almost as safe as solar or wind. Be careful though, there have only been a handful of nuclear disasters in history, but the damage is perennial over time. Today's nuclear power death toll can't tell the whole story, because spent fuel rods remain radioactive for tens of thousands of years. The idea that nuclear power is safer than fossil fuels alternates is reason one some people change their minds about it. Most importantly, in terms of climate change, nuclear power is clean, some would say. Indeed, its CO2 emissions are about as low as solar and wind power over its lifetime, and it also provides a fairly consistent supply of electricity. As countries eliminate fossil fuels from their energy grids, nuclear could provide a stable baseload when the sun isn't shining and the wind isn't blowing. The biggest concern that leaving nuclear power means burning more fossil fuels, so you'd have to think about renewables. And energy experts say that a massive expansion of renewables has only been politically possible because of the government has agreed to leave nuclear. In Germany, for example, they have been closing nuclear power plants for decades and are expecting to close the last one by 2023. To compensate, they are forced to open and keep open their coal power plants, which extremely pollute the air. This rapid nuclear phase-out is one of the most infamous in the world. In fact, other than Fukushima disaster, Angela Merkel had wished for a total end of nuclear reactors. A few months after this speech, she announced that Germany would completely withdraw from nuclear power and general approval. But this decision was costly. In 2019, studies estimated that abandoning nuclear power had slowed Germany's exit from coal, that it had led to 1,100 more deaths than expected each year from air pollution. The annual social cost of $12 billion. These figures then became an argument used by pro-nuclear power. It is the same story in the United States, where nuclear closures have been supported fossil fuels in California and New York. Nuclear proponents often use the phase-out of the big example of why we should keep power plants open. But mind you, Germany's electricity emissions have actually declined as a result, as renewables have removed coal from the equation. Again, experts say investment in renewables has made nuclear less attractive. That's because there are cheaper and cleaner alternatives to building new nuclear power plants. There remains another problem for nuclear enthusiasts. Older reactors are more dangerous and need to be upgraded to stay safe. The longer their lifespan is extended beyond their original design, the greater the risk that an old unit will have an accident. Countries like Japan had difficulty returning old reactors to service because they continue to fail safety tests. Most of the new plants are being built in Asia as demand of electricity skyrockets and countries like China commit the reducing of CO2 emissions. This new generation of nuclear power plants is being designed to higher safety standards than previous reactors based on lessons learned from major disasters. What hasn't changed, what do we do when a plant closes? To summarize, closing nuclear power plants can worsen climate change if there is no renewable alternatives to fill the gap. Extending their life would mean upgrading plants to make them safe, and building new ones is expensive, but could help stabilize clean electric grids. But there's one big question that we have not yet answered. What about nuclear waste? This is one of the main reasons why so many people are against nuclear power. Spent fuel rods remain radioactive for tens of thousands of years. Concrete and metal exposed to radiation also cannot simply be thrown away. Decommissioning a nuclear power plant can take decades. But the problem is this: even after 70 years of nuclear power production, no one has found a way to get rid of these waste permanently, and some activists want to ban the creation of new plants until the problem is solved. Nuclear waste is something that even nuclear advocates are sometimes unsure about. It is toxic, radioactive, and in the wrong hands can be used to make dirty bombs. Is burying nuclear waste a solution? It means isolating the waste inside of a rock or clay to prevent radiation from reaching the surface. Finland is preparing to open the world's first deep geological storage facility in 2023 to permanently treat its waste. This could convenience environmentalists concerned about waste contamination. Despite this project, the world already has half a century of nuclear waste to deal with. And that's it. We've reached the end of our topic of nuclear power. Do you know this information about this energy source? And are you against or for nuclear power? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed the topic of the day, leave us a little blue thumbs up. To make sure you don't miss our next topic, don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell. Thanks for sticking around until the end of the video, and I'll see you soon on aTech.